In our last video, we left off with question number 15, which was the last of the questions that ask you to find the correct answer. Well, now we have moved on to questions 16 through 40, where the challenge is to now find the mistake, which I think is quite a bit more of a challenge than finding the correct answer. And you know, when I was in college and I was studying Spanish, our professors would sometimes give us a paragraph with 10 mistakes in it. They would tell us we had 10 mistakes and we had to go find them. And I always found that that was definitely a pretty difficult challenge to find someone else's mistakes rather than to maybe write a good sentence or a good paragraph. So anyhow, we've moved on. We are now going to try to find the mistakes, and the same rules apply as before. We are going to read the sentence, and if you want to pause the video to find the answer yourself, feel free to do so, and then I will explain the answer. So anyhow, here we go. Number 16. Interest in automatic data processing has grown rapid since the first large calculators were introduced in 1950. So let's go through the sentence. Let me go to choice A here. Interest in, and interest in works. That's the correct preposition that goes with this idea. Interest in something. You have interest in something. You are interested in something. So A is good. Let's go on. Automatic data processing. So this is an idea. This is basically, this is a subject. Automatic's the adjective. Data is a noun being used as an adjective basically. And processing is a gerund, but it's referring to a noun, the act of processing something. And data processing here is when you enter information into a computer of some sort. And automatic means some machine does it. So okay, so we have some singular noun. Has, there we go, and then we have grown. And grown, let's see, has grown, that's right, that's the past participle. Grew, let's say grow, grew, grown, yep, past participle, that's right. Rapid, has grown rapid. And that should cause an alarm to go off in your head. Grown rapid. Now, what is this describing? The growth, speed of how it's growing, or the processing? And if you're careful about it, you'll notice that rapid is describing, this word should be describing how it is growing. So this should be an adverb. So it should be rapidly, not rapid. So there is the answer. Rapidly is what should go there. So it's C. It ends up being choice C on this one. And then let's check D just to be sure, right? Since the first large calculators were introduced in 1950, this is an action in the past. It's a starting point for something. And usually with since, we have the present perfect, has grown. So since is appropriately used here. So D is good. It is choice C. That is the wrong part of the sentence. That's where the mistake is. And just to be, just to give you an extra example, there is a little exception to this adverb rule. I'll put two examples right here. The world has become rapid. This verb here is just telling you a change of state or a change of being. It's telling you how the world is. It's not describing really this action. It's describing how the world changed to be. So with be verbs or verbs like become, you're going to actually use an adjective rather than an adverb. And the same thing with verbs of feeling or taste or touch, describing how something tastes The coffee tastes good, not the coffee tastes well. Or this car feels rapid, or this car feels fast would probably be what more people would say. I was just trying to stick to the example. But notice we don't use an adverb for this because it's really describing more about something about the noun rather than the action. So this feels good, or this tastes good, this smells good, right? Not the adverb. So a little exception to that, but most of the time your verb is going to need an adverb if it's going to be described. So let's move on to 17. Let's move on to 17. Václav Nijinsky achieved world recognition as both a dancer as well as a choreographer. All right, so let's go through the answers here. Václav Nijinsky, who's a person, got the capital letters, right? Achieved, this is simple past. And there's nothing here to say we can't use that, so A is good, right? Let's go to B, world recognition. And this is a very subtle mistake. Sometimes it's easy to miss these. Even a native speaker might not catch this, but the word order should be both as a dancer as well as a choreographer, not as both a dancer. So this is what that fragment of the sentence should look like from B and onward, right? Both as a dancer as well as a choreographer. So it looks like a lot of as. They actually used as instead of and. They could have used and, because both usually goes with and, but as well as has the same meaning as and, so that's actually okay. I think they were trying to trick us. The sentence could have also been finished like this. Here's a good way. The both as a dancer and as a choreographer, and that would have been also good parallel structure, I think. That might have been the way I would have preferred to finish it. But anyhow, on this one, it ends up being choice B. And we can check C and D. We already kind of checked D as well as works. It means and, because both goes with and. A dancer is a profession, and we use the article with professions in English, so that checks out as well. So choice C is good, D is good, so the answer is B. That's where the mistake is. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. Number 18. Airports must be located near to major population centers for the advantage of air transportation to be retained. Okay, so let's take a look here. Airports must be located. Well, this is a passive voice setup. Be located. Is this base form okay? It is. It's after the verb must. Must always takes a base form. And we have the base form of be, which is taking a past participle. And that's okay, so that sets up a passive voice. Near to. Near to. Oh, near to. This is tricky for some speakers of certain languages. This might sound right, but near actually does not take the preposition to. Near is going to be by itself, so it should just be near major population centers. The other thing they may have been trying to confuse you with is next to. Next to. Next to. I'm trying to put this example here. It's not letting me put the example. Let's show you. Next to. There it is. Next to could have gone here, and that would have been okay. And I think they were just trying to confuse you with near and next to. It's very easy to mix those up. So it is choice B. That is where the mistake is. But let's go to the other parts. Let's just make sure. Major population centers. Okay. For the advantage of air transportation. Transportation, it's usually a non-countable, yeah. And no article. You don't really need the article for the advantage of, you could say the air transportation, but it's okay without it. Air transportation, referring to airplanes, so that's okay. To be retained, and this, the infinitive, is okay because we've used this setup with the for the advantage of air transportation to be retained. It's actually a common syntax in English, so that's okay. So the rest of the answers check out. Yep, it's B for sure. Now remember, in the real test you don't have to go through these all the scenarios if you've definitely located your answer, and you don't have to correct the answer. Remember, you just have to choose the correct answer and then move on. I just like to do the corrections because it gives you a little bit of extra practice. So the extra practice might actually help you in another situation where you've been presented with the right answer, and at least you will recognize from a previous practice, hey, I know what this is supposed to look like. Okay, number 19. Number 19. It is said that Einstein felt very badly about the application of his theories to the creation of weapons of war. All right, let's check the answers. It is said that. It is said that. In a previous example, in the first 15, I gave you a big, long list of clauses that usually take the word that. It is said that, it is realized that, it is known that, and so this is one of them. So if you remembered from the previous video, then you know that A is correct, so we can move on. So it is said that Einstein felt very, and then we have badly about, oh, interesting. Felt very badly. Oh, this is something I talked about not too long ago. Remember, verbs of feeling, verbs of senses, taste, touch, smell. Yeah, this should be bad. He felt very bad. He felt very sad. He felt very angry. And you can test it with angry. It's not he felt very angrily. He felt very angry, not angrily, so it should be bad, not badly. It's choice C. Very is okay, because this is an adverb describing this adjective, which is linked back to Einstein. So it should be bad, not badly. About, and then let's go on to the other one just to make sure, about the application of his theories to the creation of weapons of war, and that's actually fine. You apply something to something. So they were testing you on your knowledge of the preposition with apply. So D is actually okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. Number 20. The plants that they belong to the family of ferns are quite varied in their size and structure. All right, well, let's go through here. We have the plants. So we got some subject here, plural subject, the plants. Hopefully you know what that is. That, oh, interesting, that they belong to the, this is actually a very simple fix. Hopefully you noticed it right away. We have a double subject. We have the plants, and we have the subject pronoun they, and this is doubled up, and you can't do that in English, so A is the answer. You need to eliminate the double subject. So all you would have to do is take an eraser and get rid of that they. If you were correcting a poorly written sentence in the real TOEFL, you just choose A and move on. But let's check out B. belong to. That's okay, because that's the plural. Plants belong to. Are quite varied. Are works, because ferns and plants, these are all nice and plural, so this is plural, so it's okay. And this is the possessive adjective for something plural in the third person. Their size and structure, referring back to these plants and these ferns. So D is correct. Yep, the answer is A. You need to get rid of that. It's a double subject. And we are about out of time, so we'll see you in the next video.